All around me, I look like I'm the man. Yeah, but I was counting up like last week. Tell me, where have you been? Yeah, came out of hiding, girl. Don't act like I'm your man. You just a fan. You don't hold right.
Okay, so I'm gonna try this one more time. So today I'm deciding to do a car story time and let you guys know a little bit about myself and, you know, just kind of let y'all in. So my mom had me at 7.5 months pregnant. When I was born, I weighed 2 pounds, some ounces. Approximately 2 weeks after I was born, 2 weeks to 3 weeks after I was born, my mom was shot. She was in the hospital. They said she was doing pretty good, and then something went wrong, and she died. So y'all, God has been looking after me my whole entire life. Like, I could have been dead right then and there because I was not supposed to be born. But she had me early, and then she died. People can't tell me that God ain't good. So then, I was in foster care for a little while, and then my grandparents ended up adopting me. My dad's mom and stepdad ended up adopting me whenever I was little. And y'all, let me tell you, that was rough. Like, really, really rough, because you would think, like, that your grandparents, you know what I'm saying, you'll be okay or whatever. But, little disclaimer, they adopted me when my grandmother was 45 and my grandfather was 42. So they were done with kids or whatever. So, you know, they didn't really have to adopt me, but they did. And I'm very thankful, you know. But it was hell. It was really, really hell, because I grew up feeling like my grandmother hated my entire guts. She made me feel bad about myself. She made me want to kill myself. And that's just the honest to God truth, because I could not understand why it was that she could make me feel like she just didn't care about me and that she didn't love me. Me not knowing that, you know, a person that didn't really get love can't really show you something that they never really got themselves. So, but like I said at the time, I didn't really realize that, but that's just how I felt. Like, I felt like, God, how could you let this happen to me? Like, how could you put me here with her and she hates me? And I feel like any chance that she got to, like, just take her frustrations out on me, she would. And then, you know, to top it all off, like, from the time I was about 5 up until I was about 10, like, my cousin molested me. And again, I'm like, God, how could you keep letting this stuff happen to me? Like, do you not like me? Like, because I can't really understand why is all of this stuff happening to me. And so yeah, so I, at the age of 19, right before I turned 20, I decided that I just did not want to have to deal with that anymore. And I decided I was going to move out. And that was like the best decision that I could have ever made for myself and for them, because I was at a point where I was like, I can't take it anymore. I'm not about to sit here and I'm not about to let you keep abusing me. Like, that's what I'm not gonna do. So yeah, I think I need to turn around and go to the bank. That's what I need to do. So that's what I did. I ended up moving out, and that was the best thing for our relationship. But as far as like the best thing for me, no, because like I said, like only thing in my head that I kept thinking about was, you know, nobody really cares whether I'm living or I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? So I might as well just do whatever. Just do whatever, because don't nobody really care. Is, you know, what I thought. But, so, like, I was trying to take all these pills and stuff. And this is the first time I've ever said anything to anybody about this. But, I was trying to take all of these pills. Like, I was just gonna, you know, just take my life. Like, I could sit down here and nobody would even know. And frankly, nobody would even care. Like, I don't have friends. You know, my family don't really care about me. So they wouldn't miss me is what I was thinking. Hold on, let me go to the ATM. Okay. So, yeah, I felt like they really wouldn't care. But then one day, something just went off in my head, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not living for everybody else. I'm living for myself. And by that time, like, when I say, like, I had been through, like, the ringer that just made me, like, you know, I'm done just making stupid decisions about wanting to take my life. Like, I had gotten pregnant for the first time. I thought that, you know, I would have my baby and stuff, and, you know, I thought that my granny would be happy for me and stuff. Well, of course, she wasn't. She basically told me that I had effed up my life, and, yeah, she just was not happy for me at all. So like I said, like, it didn't matter what I did in life, she was never going to be happy for me. And that was something that I had to realize, you know. So I got so stressed out between her and, you know, things that were, I felt as though, like, the father of my child, like, I felt like he wasn't happy. So therefore, it made me sad, because I'm like, I felt like, well, you know, if this is something that you didn't want to happen, then you should have took better precautions or whatever. But that's nor here nor there. So I ended up getting stressed out about that, and I ended up miscarrying. So I was very, very sad about that, because I was actually excited. And, you know, just feeling lonely and stuff, and just, like I said, feeling like I didn't have anybody and nobody really cared. So, yeah, I just started taking a whole bunch of pills, and I was just like, if I die, I die. That's just how I was thinking at the time. But like I said, something snapped in me and was like, girl, you need to get your whole life or whatever. And that's what I did. I got my whole entire life. And so I just want to say to everybody that if you are going through something in your life, you know, it's just for a season. You know, trouble don't last always. And I try to remind myself of that daily, but it's extremely hard. I'm pulling up to McDonald's. I really don't like McDonald's. I'm pulling up to McDonald's to get some breakfast. So yeah, so like I was saying, like live your life for yourself and not for somebody else, because you gotta live happy in your life. And that's something that, you know, it took me a long time to realize, but I'm realizing it. Hold on, I'm pulling up to the window.
Hey,
Hi, yes.
564. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, you too. So yeah, it was definitely something that I had to learn for myself. Ooh, they moving today in McDonald's, honey.
How are you?
All right, and you?
Yeah,
Thank you, you too. Trying to start my day off a little bit better than before, because y'all, when I say that life has been so hard, it has been so hard. Nobody ever said that it was gonna be easy. Nobody. But I have to keep reminding myself that God gives his strongest people these tests. So I'm always trying to remind myself of that and not get, you know, discouraged. Because honey, some days I just be like, why me, Lord? Why?